Making a pop star the center of a psychological drama has the potential to explore the idea of their celebrity and fandom and relationships with those they collaborated with. Mother Mary aims to do that and follows a curious structure. Most of the first half is very play-like and almost Shakespearean in the way it is primarily set in one location and reliant almost entirely on dialogue between the pop star and a costume designer. However, it's when the film gets into its second half and we see the payoff of these conversations that the story David Lowery has devised begins to fall apart. The main strength of Mother Mary comes from the lead performances. Anne Hathaway depicts the vulnerability of the titular singer trying to reconnect with Sam, her former costume designer. She acts well opposite Michaela Coel, who subtly displays a certain distrust towards Mary with some perceived slight that will naturally be revealed later on. They depict this apparent history well through the way they say the dialogue and some of their subtle facial expressions. The back and forth between them does provide intrigue for what we'll eventually find out about their relationship. That Lowery makes this talky portion of the film compelling enough deserves some credit. The movie excels at the concert scenes, which capture the feeling of modern pop performances. The songs written by artists like Charlie XCX and Jack Antonoff are catchy, and it is easy to see why they caught on within the film's universe. As stated before, there's some curiosity about where exactly Lowery is taking these characters, but where Mother Mary ends up going is disappointing. Lowery goes heavy on the surreal imagery, but it feels like the film is trying too hard, and none of those elements have much impact. It also comes to a point where one realizes that it's hard to care about these two and their relationship. Even when it tries to dig into what they're feeling underneath, it does not do enough to make them into interesting personalities, and the dialogue can only do so much. This makes the second half of Mother Mary a slog to get through. Lowery is throwing so much at the screen, but all the attempts at either horror or psychological drama fall flat. By the end, one just feels empty. It's an example of how, when building up to something, the big revelations better be worth it, or else it sinks the entire film. Mother Mary has its animal elements, but the wait to see where the plot goes falls disappointingly short. It becomes up to Anne Hathaway and Michaela Coel to grab my interest, and they do deliver strong performances that can help elevate the material at times. The concert scenes are especially done with plenty of showmanship when evoking the attention that singers like Beyonce and Lady Gaga attract. However, learning more about the characters does not help flesh them out, and the wild imagery that transpires in the second half is surprisingly routine for a movie that's trying really hard to be surreal. As a result, Mother Mary is a lot of build-up to ultimately very little.